Hello, welcome to this update for parts of the Indian Ocean and Western Pacific, Oceania. So let's see, we now have Tropical Depression 28 near the South China Sea, near Vietnam and some areas. So let's see what they have here. They have the Tropical Depression there, and they have it quickly becoming a tropical storm there, like tomorrow or something. And the remnants of it getting towards Vietnam with some heavy rain, but just the remnant low, so nothing crazy, but it will still bring a lot of heavy rain there, but be aware in those areas. Now, let's see. So most of the models take this towards Vietnam, but now they're showing like south, the remnants of it curving further south. And then as well as some other models, these ones are showing, some are showing north, but most are showing like close to southern Vietnam. So be aware in those areas. And here, so there's the GFS. It shows the storm there. It does show a tropical storm like 999. It goes and weakens a lot and kind of dissipates before Vietnam. And later does have some more disturbances near the Philippines and more areas. And now the European, it does have the storm there, like 1003. It goes and like does show like 1008 before Vietnam, and the European does have a lot of heavy rain in Vietnam from this. So be careful those areas. Now the Canadian does have the storm there now near 1003, goes like 1002, and does go into Vietnam, but like after this dissipates just the remnants. So this goes there, and yeah, and later does show some more disturbances in the Western Pacific, like near the equator, just some heavy rains in Micronesia and Palau in those areas. Now for the icon, it does show what's happening here. What's happening? Good. So it does show the storm there now. Goes 1002, goes gets a little bit more organized, but still 1003. Then goes there, brings some heavy rains through Vietnam and dissipates. So be careful those areas. Now here for like the rainfall, there's the GFS does show the storm there, and until Friday the 27th shows more rain in some spots of eastern Vietnam there. It's like 131 millimeters, and some spots a little bit less, 42. Shows some rain central Vietnam as well, and more like in eastern Laos and some areas there. Shows some more in eastern Vietnam, but more like central Vietnam. So be careful. And now just until Tuesday it doesn't show much. Until Thursday already shows more there. So be careful those areas. There's the excess too until the 27th. The excess does have some higher amounts there, close to like 290, 347 millimeters in some areas there. Some islands close to 221 millimeters. So be careful in those areas. Those storms might cause some flooding and landslides, so stay safe. Shows more because central Vietnam 161, 120 millimeters, and those areas. So be careful there. Shows like 171, and yeah, stay safe. It shows more from the South China Sea, and out the European shows a similar thing. Shows also southern Vietnam, more there, like 115. Shows 162, 140, It does show like 235 some other spots, central and eastern Vietnam, but further north shows a lot, like 334, 322, and also further inland 131. So be careful in those areas in case this happens. It also shows even further north, central Vietnam, near Hue, in like 275, 285, 233. Some spots of far eastern Laos as well, even close to some 82 millimeters. So be careful. Shows some storms in Cambodia too, a shower too, some thunderstorms, and a finger or two in Thailand. Nothing crazy, but a finger or two there. And does show here, yeah. So be careful those areas. The wind gusts, it's a little bit stronger in the South China Sea, but nothing crazy. So this goes there. The European does shows some higher gusts along the coast there. Show like some 63 bar gusts, more there across central Vietnam, and even in Laos shows a little bit gustier, but nothing crazy. Then Monday, right here. So this goes into Tuesday. That shows some spots in Laos, in eastern Laos, a little bit higher gusts, like Tuesday morning, Tuesday noon. So this goes into Tuesday afternoon, a little bit less gusty, but still shows like Vietnam and Cambodia, a higher gust or two, and in eastern Laos, not in eastern Vietnam still, and a little bit breezier in some areas. Tuesday into Wednesday still shows a gust here in there too, but mainly in the ocean there. So be aware of those winds, especially in Vietnam, and depends on the strength of this as well. But the GFS has also a tiny bit gusty there along the coast of Vietnam. And also the waves might be higher in some areas because of those winds. So be aware too. And here, so now for the other areas, the GFS does have those heavier downpours still in Indonesia, like 122 millimeters in Java, and some areas there. It does have like in Sumatra, in some areas, southern Sumatra, 104, some 87, 102. So yeah, be careful those areas. 205. So northern Sumatra especially, and Malaysia, some 80 millimeters. Some spots even to like 104. So be careful. And it does show in the Philippines still. The GFS does have 280 millimeters, 298 still, so still be careful. Northeastern Philippines and those areas is still showing a lot of rain, so be careful. The downpours in the Philippines, not the Philippines, but in Indonesia, those like heavy tropical downpours, and also central Malaysia, some spots of central Indonesia. So be careful there, and even the southern Philippines and some islands further south shows a lot of accumulation. So be careful. For example, those downpours now in some spots of the eastern Philippines, and in Indonesia, a very strong one between Sumatra and Java. So be aware of those storms there. Now, the European, the next 5 days, it still shows some very crazy amounts in the Philippines, like 188. In Manila does have 146 in some areas, but on the eastern coast it does like 444 millimeters. This is too much. I don't think there'll be this much rain, but just be aware, because the GFS also shows like more than 100 millimeters, so we're like 216 to 400. So be careful. Those areas might be flooding and landslides, shows like 200 some spots. The eastern Philippines shows more like 382 further north in the northern Philippines. So be careful in those areas, but that's 5 days. If I put just like 2 days, it shows less there, of course, but already show like almost 300 millimeters just in the next 2 days. Some areas there, so be careful those areas. The Europeans also the central Philippines, some more downpours like central and eastern Philippines, especially near the eastern coast of some islands there, close like 142, some more central islands as well, and more there. So be careful in southern Philippines as well. As well as those small islands, so like more than 100 millimeters, 136. So be careful those areas. And it does show as well in Indonesia, especially in Java, like 150 the next 5 days, 190, 198. So be careful with flooding those areas. I already saw some reports of flooding, some parts central Indonesia, so be careful. 155, 113, some spots central Java. Jakarta shows 67, but there might be a stronger downpour from time to time, so be careful. Shows southern Sumatra, some more downpours as well. So heavy ones like 105, shows more central northern Sumatra, 150, 129. So stay safe, southern Malaysia and most areas there. So be aware. It does show like central Indonesia, Kalimantan, some more downpours in Malaysia, Brunei as well, but shows heavier to the central Philippines, Sulawesi, and some areas there, so like 110, 99, in East Timor shows some, and some other areas. So stay safe. In Western Guinea, it does show there like 131, in some areas 105, so be aware there. Shows more to like some more central areas, and further east the Pacific shows some 89 millimeters in Palau next 5 days. It shows like 105 some islands further south, and Micronesia and some areas just show like 53, 26, but shows the worst a little bit further south. But be careful those areas. Shows like 5 millimeters in Guam, and a little bit more further north there, but nothing that crazy. In Taiwan shows some 48 millimeters, some 27, some rain there too. And India still shows a lot there. The European especially like 159, 160, so be careful in Eastern India. For that development, it's still at a low chance, and I don't think this will develop at all, but this still bring those heavy rains in Eastern India there, so be careful those areas. 146 to like 90, so some more showers further south as well. Be aware. And that shows some rain northern India to central northern India. So now the area shows some rain there, northern India, and the snow, the Himalayas, and that show the heavy rain on the coast there. So be careful. And the GFS for the accumulation does show like the GFS is weird because it shows like further south, show like some 74 millimeters, some 38, 15, shows more showers, some storms southern India that doesn't have much eastern India like the European, but it also has some showers central India, those areas there, and some storms in Sri Lanka. So be careful those areas. The Maldives that does show some spots close to 100 millimeters, especially in the south during the next 5 days. So be careful and be aware of those storms there. And here, now for the system near Australia, it's still at a high chance, but it hasn't developed yet. It's very disorganized, and I don't think that this might develop much. You just bring those heavy rains there. So let's see here. So there's like, let's see the Indian Ocean first. So the show there like the disturbance in India shows it goes there, so heavy rain. The GFS like southern India, and shows a tropical storm the southeastern Indian Ocean. This goal shows another disturbance near Madagascar, and the GFS now trying to bring another storm just north of the Comoros on January 2nd. This wouldn't be a crazy cyclone or anything, but it will bring some more storms near Mayotte, where the crazy cyclone happened. So we'll keep monitoring this, but now it's too far out. It still shows very weak, barely nothing, then shows into Mozambique. But we'll keep watching. There's the European shows the disturbance like not north, but like central eastern India, and does show the tropical storm potential in the central southern Indian Ocean, and it goes there, but it doesn't have any disturbance near the Comoros. Just has some disturbed weather near of the ocean, but that doesn't show it going anywhere. Just some heavier storms in Madagascar. So be aware, and like for Oceania, so it does have now that disturbance there. It shows very disorganized, like a broad front. So that doesn't show a tropical storm. Maybe later south of New Caledonia shows a little bit more organized, but barely nothing. Then it goes, but there'll be this big convergence zone with a lot of heavy rain in Vanuatu, Fiji, those areas there. So be aware. There's also the Canadian model. It shows the already shows there like 998 or something, but it's very disorganized. So this goes there, shows some heavier storms in New Caledonia, the 24th, into Vanuatu later, and even Fiji on the 26th. So that's the main threat, that heavy rain and the storms there. The GFS, the same thing. That's like 998 just south of New Caledonia, but this will be mainly a rain event for those areas of Oceania. So be aware, the icon is like 1000 millibars. This goes quickly to 998, but very disorganized as well. So be careful those areas. And here, this is until the 27th, Friday. That does show the rain accumulation here in New Caledonia. Some spots to even 100 millimeters eastern northern New Caledonia. And it does show Vanuatu some yellow, that's close to 200 millimeters. The Canadian does have northern Fiji close to 200, and some heavy rain in those areas. So please be careful there. The GFS for this time frame is like northern Vanuatu close to 100 millimeters until the next Friday. Central Vanuatu shows like some downpours in northern Australia, northwestern Australia, but nothing crazy. But the GFS now is showing like Fiji close to like 328 millimeters in Fiji in the next 5 days. So Fiji really has to watch this in the next 5 days. But until Wednesday, just show like 47, some 82 millimeters, and until Friday shows like 236. So this might increase later next week, and it shows a little bit less in New Caledonia, but does show some storms too. The Solomon Islands, some heavy downpours, and into Papua New Guinea, especially eastern and central Papua New Guinea, those heavy downpours and spots. So be careful. And the European until the 27th does have in both the bigger islands of Fiji 176, like 262, 256, 165. So be careful for the next 5 days most of it, especially after the 24th, especially like the 26th, 27th. If I put this until the 30th, shows a little bit more as well, and shows like central Papua New Guinea with more than 100 sunspots in the north there, and more like eastern Papua New Guinea, those areas. And does show some heavy downpours northwestern Australia, so be aware there too. Also maybe Queensland, Northern Territory, and does show like West Island, some 54 millimeters, some storms nearby, especially southwestern Java, some very heavy downpours. So be careful. Shows more in Tonga, especially sun in Tonga the next 5 days. Be careful there. Some in Samoa and in some areas there, some tropical showers, but nothing crazy. French Polynesia, it's quieter now, but still a storm or two, some showers. So be aware. In other areas too, northern Kiribati, some showers, and stay safe. Those areas from those heavy rains and everything. Also Madagascar, some heavy storms the next 5 days. Be aware, those might be like strong and with heavy rain. So stay safe, be aware of the storm there.